All right. So Quincy, what are we going to make today?
Lure?
All right. Yes, we are going to make a lure. Do you remember what this one is called?
Broken spoon?
The broken spoon lure. Why do we call it the broken spoon?
Because it's a spoon broken in half.
Yeah, right, because it's cut in half. Now, where did we get the materials for this? The main part.
The spoon?
Yep, from a spoon. We got that from
Savers?
Yeah, from a second-hand store, didn't we? And why do you think we do that?
That's for recycling.
Yeah, it's kind of like recycling. We love being outside. We love fishing. We love hunting. We love camping. We like being outside. And I don't think there's anybody who better understands the needs of the environment than those who are out there in it all the time. We have a deep desire to make sure to pass that on, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so we want to make sure we're taking care of it. So this is a way to kind of be green in that way, and so that we can reuse the different things that we're doing. Now, it also is a way for us to save money, right? Do you know how much a lure costs in the store?
Like $3 or $4.
Yeah, like $3 or $4 or more dollars. And this is a way for us to be able to make it for just around $1 a piece. Plus, what else do we get to do?
I think it's like $3 because you gotta buy like 2 for like the fingernail polish, and then for the spoon. And
Yeah, we got all those different things.
yeah, then it'll cost like $1 for the spoon next time. We already have the stuff, so then it'll
How
be
about
$1 for the other
Well, how
stuff.
about we break it down for everybody so they can see? Because by the time we buy all of it, it's going to cost you about $1. The other thing is we get to spend some time making it together, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we get started?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go get started. Okay, so Quincy's going to help me show you the things that we need in order to make the broken spoon lure. Okay? So Quincy, can you show us the things that we're going to need today?
We're gonna need some hooks
Okay, so we're using size 6 treble hooks.
and some split rings.
Okay, in this case, we're using size 4 split rings.
Fork or spoon.
Now, the fork or the spoon, whatever it is that we found at the secondhand store, right? Whatever we thought was interesting.
Some colorful stickers.
Yep, so these are stickers that are meant for the lures, that are all shiny.
And fingernail polish.
And where did we get the fingernail polish?
From your sister or mom.
Yeah, we just went and raided Mom's and your sister's fingernail polish. You can also get it at the dollar store. It's nice and cheap. You get to pick them up for $1. Sometimes they have right good colors. It can be a little embarrassing to be walking through the line with fingernail polish, but they'll get over it. All right, so we're going to do step 1 of how to make this lure. Quincy's going to help us out by marking it. You can see we've got the spoon handle here that we're going to be using, as well as the lure. So Quincy's going to go ahead and make our marks. We're going to use a Sharpie, and really what this is a spoon or a fork handle that has been cut into a couple different pieces. So first Quincy's going to go ahead and make a mark about where he wants to have this cut in half. So you can see he's got 2 marks. This is going to be made of 2 different sections. Now the next thing that we need to make sure to mark is the holes for the split rings. Quincy, if you go ahead and make those marks, they need to be about 1/16 of an inch away from each side, and we want them to be centered. Okay? We're going to go ahead now and go out and make the cuts with the drawing tool. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and start the process of cutting up our fork, and we're going to take a couple of steps. The first one we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drill the holes for the split rings. It's a lot easier to do it when we've got a longer handle to hang on to when we're drilling. It'll make it a safer process. Also note that we do have our safety glasses on so that our eyes are safe. We don't want to lose our eye. That would make fishing a lot less fun. We've got here in the chuck, we've got a 1/16 of an inch drill bit that we'll be using. Now when you're drilling through stainless, you want to make sure that you're careful because all the silverware that you're buying is stainless. You want to make sure to take it nice and slow. Okay, let's go ahead and get this drilled. So one of the things that we want to make sure of when we're drilling these holes and as we're marking them is that we leave enough room between these holes so that we can run the blade of a Dremel tool across there so we can cut it in half without cutting into the holes. So just be careful of that as you're cutting. So as you can see, we've got that one out. So now we've got our 4 holes. We're ready to take it over. We'll put it in a vise so we can go ahead and just cut these 2 lines right here. The vise now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut these off. In order to help the vise hold it, I'm going to go ahead and bend the fork so that way it's going to hold it a little easier. So just going to go ahead and put it here in the vise and bend it over. You can see how that's going to make it a lot easier to hold while we're cutting it. So you can see I've just got a Dremel with a cutoff tool in it, and we're just going to go ahead and make those 2 cuts. Okay, and that's actually cut far enough that we'll be able to just bend it in half. We'll do the same over here. Okay, those are both far enough apart. So what we're going to do, I'll just go ahead and grab these because they're going to be a little bit hot now. So I'll just go ahead and grab them, and you'll see that they'll just break off. So there's 1/2. And there is the second half. So we've got our pieces now that have been cut apart. Last step we're going to do out here in the shop is we're going to go ahead and take the grinder here and we're going to go ahead and round out the edges just to help make it smoother, because we are going to do some work with files by hand. We want to do the most of it with the power tool so that it's easier for us. Okay? You're going to need, I put them in a pair of vice grips. And the other thing that you may find useful is to have a cup of water, because these will get hot. That way you can dip them in the water from time to time. Okay? So we'll go ahead and turn it on. Now, the goal of what we're trying to do here is just kind of round the edges, or shape it if you want. You may find that you want to have more of a tapered back from here, or you may just want to have the corners rounded. That's up to you, but that's what we're trying to do, is just create the general shape. The other thing that you want to be watching for is we do need to make sure that these holes are within about 1/16 of an inch from the edge. You can see this one's probably just a little bit further than that, so I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit off just to make it closer so that the split rings are easily able to bridge and move freely. As you can see, we've completed the rough finish of this one. We'll go ahead and do the same to this, and then we'll move on to adding a bend to this very first one, the one that is going to be the leading edge, the one that will not have the hook on it. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and place this in here, and we're going to bend it just a little bit at a time. So you can see we'll place it in there. We're going to take this little hammer, bend it just a little bit, move down just a little. We don't want to clamp this too tight so it straightens it out. And we're just going to keep doing that till we get all the way across. We're not looking for a really big bend in it. But enough that it'll create an action in the rest of the lure. So you can see about the amount of bend that we got out of that. That's going to be just about perfect. You can see, now that we've got the rough cut done, what are we going to do next?
Violet.
We're going to file it. Why are we going to file it?
To make it smoother.
Make it smoother. Okay, can you show us how we're going to do that?
This.
Hey, great job, Quincy, on getting this nice and smooth. We're ready now to go ahead and start decorating. You can see on our original lure, we found that when we have these flashy stickers on them, that's what works the best. So we're going to go ahead and first place the sticker in the middle of the lures, and then we'll go ahead and paint. So to start with, we're going to go ahead and cut some strips of the flashy sticker and place them on both sides of the lure, as you can see on the original. Now added the stickers to the lure, so now we're ready to start adding the colors. We're going to be doing this one in the same colors that we have on this original, in which is meant to look like a little rainbow trout. It's got a dark color on the top and a sparkly purple on the bottom. So Quincy is going to go ahead and demonstrate putting on the fingernail polish. See, he's going to lay it on nice and thick and try not to get it down on the sticker, but it's not important to be overly precise. The fish haven't really cared, and this has been a very successful lure for us. We've got quite a few trout on it, and none of them have seemed to have cared at all that there were smudges and other things like that on it.
That side's done.
Yep, and now I get the other side. Perfect. Okay, now one of the things that we're going to do to help make this easy so we don't make a big mess is we're going to take essentially what is a paper clip here and put it through our little hole, and we will release it, and it will be this will allow us to hang it and let it dry, and then we'll come back and we'll put on the other color. Okay, so the blue is dried, so we're going to go ahead and add on our second color, and Quincy's going to do that for us. Alright, the pieces have now dried. All the fingernail polish is now in place. So now the last thing that we have to do is to go ahead and put the split rings on in order to connect all of them together. This one for the swivel, this one to make the joint, and this one to attach the fish hook. I'm going to go ahead and start with the middle one here, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the pliers and bend it over. This may take a little bit, and you may find, depending on the size of your split ring, that the hole that we drilled as a 1/16 of an inch, you may need to make that a little bit bigger to allow it to go in there, but just take your time and you can slowly work that in there. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the second one.
Wait, Dad. Turn that one upside down so that it's like purple on that side and blue on that side instead.
So there's alternating?
Hmm?
We're going to put it together so that it's the same. Do you think fish are split in the middle? With different colors?
I don't know.
Well, I haven't seen one like that. At least not floating around in the lakes that we go fishing in. Okay, so you can see we've got that. Now, it is important for you to note which one is front. I mentioned this before, that the front has the bend in it. We found that works best. I've tested them where we had the one with the curve in the back and it didn't create the same action. Having it in the front seems to work the very best. So we'll go ahead and put this one on. We'll put the hook on last so we reduce the chance of stabbing ourselves. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is put our hook on. right. So there we go. We have a broken spoon. Broken because it's cut in half. You Quincy, you ready? You ready to go fishing? Should we go try it out? All right. Well, let's head to the lake and see if we can catch something. Remember, we won't post a video unless we've actually caught something with our lure, so be waiting for that. Okay, Quincy, can you show us the action of our broken spoon lure? See, it's got a nice little swim action there. All right, let's get us a fish. Might have hit the bottom and then just... Oh my gosh, it's a big fish. Big rainbow. Oh, it's a cut. Oh, that one might actually be big enough. Ah.
Whoa!
Holy smokes. Man, nice one. And that actually is with the broken spoon lure right there. That's nice. Rainbow!
Woo!
Another cut. Nice cut. Oh, he spit it out. That one might be long enough.